Welcome back, everybody. It's Chris again at the Card Collective, and we're going to do something a little bit different. Something I've been a little bit excited about doing. Been wanting to do this for a little while. Um, want to give some shout outs to some players from our past who helped create the sport that we love, the fun that goes with it, and so on. So what we've done, or what I'm trying to accomplish, is I want us to not forget where the sport came from. So, in doing so, I want to be the person to remind everybody of different ball players across time. And we're going to do this in a new series that we're going to do weekly, where we're going to go back to the 40s, to the 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way up to probably, say, 2010s, maybe 2020. And want to talk about different players and their contributions to the game on the field and off. And of course, today we're going to start with my all-time favorite baseball player, um, and we're gonna start it out with some historical stats and things like that, and we're gonna title this new um, venture. We're gonna call it "Do You Know This Player?" So this series going forward, like I said, hopefully once a week. Do you know this player? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give out some historical stats and things like that, and get you guys maybe to comment, see if you know who I'm talking about before we do a reveal. And some of you who've been around the game and know a little bit, you may have some secret sauce over here. So we're going to start out with some history. So this particular person had a lifetime batting average of 265, had 2,111 hits, 398 home runs, 1,266 RBIs. Yes, he is a hitter, fielder, um, had a really long career, all things considered. He first game was September the 13th, 1976, and his final appearance was May 21st of 1993. So this is a person who is a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time Most Valuable Player, 5-time Gold Glove winner, 4-time Silver Slugger Award recipient. He won the Roberto Clemente Award for personal excellence. He was a 2-time home run leader, a 2-time RBI leader. His number is retired in the stadium that he played in, and he's also on that team's Hall of Fame. He Now for a little bit more personal. This person lived off the field just like he did on the field. He gave everything he had to everything and everybody around him. There was a newspaper column written for him every single week where he responded to fans' questions. Um, he was a part of Sports Illustrated Sportsmen and Sportswomen of the Year. Uh, he's been with so many charities, Make a Wish, March of Dimes, American Heart Association. Um, in a moment, I'm going to give you one of the most touching stories like you would ever think. It's just ridiculous. This young man was a 5-tool player, could do it all. One of the founding members of the 30-30 Club, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He just played ball, man, the way you were supposed to play the game. Giving all the stats and the highlights and everything. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Is that a Hall of Fame career? Um, so this young man was born March 12th, 1956. He is still with us today. Thank you. um, he played for 3 teams, and we all around my house anyway know and love him as Mr. Dale Brian Murphy. Young man was my idol for years playing ball. And to answer the questions ahead of time, no, he is not in the Hall of Fame. But with a record like that, how could he not be? Um, so just threw a couple cards out that I have of his. Again, he is my 100% personal collection. I currently have somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,800 of his cards. Everything from his 4-corner rookie card all the way up to, actually, I pulled one this year. He is that important to the game. He's obviously that important to me. But unfortunately, he's not in the Hall of Fame. His number was retired in Atlanta. He's in the Oregon Hall of Fame. He's in the Georgia Hall of Fame. He's in the Humanitarian Hall of Fame. But he somehow cannot get into Baseball Hall of Fame. This man started out as a catcher in 1976, played 19 games or so as a catcher for the Atlanta Braves. There are stories about him not being able to throw down second base and always finding the center fielder. So they thought, hey, with an arm like that, let's do something better with it. So they tried him over at first base for a little while. I think it was in 1982. Maybe, no, 1978. He played first base for the Atlanta Braves and led the league in errors. So they said, heck, let's just move him to the outfield where he can use his arm and one of the 5 tools that he has. So he became a Gold Glove winner. And my goodness, played all 3 positions in the outfield, left, center, right, and did a fantastic job. He was the 1980s Braves. Bless his heart, he could not get any support through the lineup. It was him or nobody. You had Bob Horner for a little while. Old Thumbs himself, he was his protection for a spell. You had Chris Chambliss and Claudio Washington, some of these other people who they tried to get in there. Unfortunately, a little past some of their prime. But Dale Murphy, guys, for me, an all-time hero. I grew up watching this guy. Always had time for everybody, man. If you ever went to the launching pad back when it was Fulton County Stadium, he was always there early. He was always there late. He always had time to speak with whoever wanted to speak with him. There's a story that I wanted to share when you're talking about somebody's humanitarian and when you're talking about somebody who gives himself to more than the game. This is who he is. Before a home game against San Francisco, June 12th of 1983, Dale Murphy was in the stands with a young lady named Elizabeth Smith, a 6-year-old girl who had lost both of her hands and a leg when she stepped on a power line that was live. Murphy, of course, gave her a cap and T-shirts and signed autographs and all this kind of stuff. Well, the little girl's nurse, who happened to be there, was speaking just eloquently, innocently asked him, "Would you mind hitting a home run for Elizabeth tonight?" And of course, Murphy says, I don't know what to say." So I just kind of said, "Well, okay." That day, he hit 2 home runs, drove in all of the Braves' runs in a 3-2 victory over the San Francisco Giants. People from the early to mid 80s all the way up to when he was traded, they had a homegrown respect for this young man. Beautiful ball player on and off the field. Just a great human. So his number 3 is retired in Atlanta. Um, should have been a long time before it was, but yeah, just a good American, good, just a good guy. Played for the Atlanta Braves from 1976 to 1990, where they traded him to the Phillies. That trade led to opportunity for a World Series that Dale Murphy was never going to get to be in anyway. I held a lot of resentment towards the player that replaced him. Wasn't his fault. He was younger, stronger, faster, just at that point in his career, better ball player. But Dave Justice, who wound up being that guy that replaced him, I will give him a shout out. He was a great Atlanta Brave. Um, from there to the Phillies, where he did not really get to do a whole lot. And then the Phillies released him, and Colorado signed him for a couple of days. And then May of 1993, he said, not anymore. Degenerative knees and so on. It just became more than what he wanted. He had a lot to do outside of life or outside of baseball. In some of his other things that he's doing, he involved in his church, president of his church in Massachusetts. He started a nonprofit organization called the I Won't Cheat Foundation, which is now on every Little League player that plays in the Little League World Series. It's on there. It's embroidered patch on their uniforms, and I love it. National Advisory Board of Operation Kids, Humanitarian Alliance. He's done TV and broadcasts. He was actually first base coach for Team USA in the 2013 Baseball Classic. And I am absolutely ashamed to say, in 2017, he opened a restaurant at Truist Park, or near Truist Park, called Murph's. And I haven't eaten there yet, and I am saddened and upset at myself for not doing so. This young man has written 3 books. How to balance a career, family, working with agents, business affairs, serving the community. All of these things. Talked about his faith in another book, discussed struggles early on in his career and how he overcame them. He's just a great ambassador for the sport, and I'm hoping that everybody that sees this understands where my respect falls for him. And we're going to continue to do this. He's not the only one, I promise, who has done great things for baseball. And every single week we're going to find another person from our past that we enjoyed watching or enjoyed hearing about or whatever, and we're going to add them to this new series we're doing. I hope that some of the younger audience will listen to some of these players. As much as I respect the game of the guys who are playing today, the Aaron Judges, the Mike Trouts, the Shohei Ohtanis, the Mookies, the Austin Rileys, the Ronald Acuñas, all these guys are fantastic, great, wonderful baseball players. But we need to remember where our sport came from and where it's at now. And hopefully I can give you guys some names and show a little bit of the cards. After all, this is a card channel, so to show you some of the involvement that I appreciated over the years. So what we have on table is a 1982 Topps Dale Murphy with the black ink. Cannot find this card without it. We got the 77 rookie, and we have the 87 Donruss, one of my all-time favorite cards. So there we have it, guys. This has been the legend Dale Murphy. And guys, let's talk. If you got anybody that you can talk to, let's talk to somebody about getting this young man in the Hall of Fame. If not for his playing career, let's talk about what he's done for others. The beautiful man who's done some wonderful things both on and off the field. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you so much, and until next time.